Welcome everybody, it's Kate back once again for another chat with our artist for the Making Zen online retreat, which is coming up very shortly in a couple of weeks from now. So I'm super excited. We've got so much fun stuff going on. I don't even know where to begin sometimes. But one thing I really would like to share with you is we have so many fun sponsors, and what the sponsors of the event do is they provide some really fun prizes for giveaways that we have happening over in the Making Zen group on Facebook. So if you haven't yet, pop on over and join, sign up and join in the fun. It's a really great community. The reason why I keep looking this way is because I want to share this with you. Check this out. So Janine from Uppercase is one of our sponsors for this year, and one lucky person is going to win a year's subscription to this very beautiful magazine. If you haven't yet checked it out, it's really worth having a look at. The material, I've got my textile head on. The paper is such beautiful quality, as is the layout. It really is a feast for the eyes. And not to mention, so it's got all these great things, but it also has, Janine has, she invites artists to apply to be published within the book. So if you have a couple of pieces that you've created and you'd really like to share it with others, then you can even get in touch with her and see if that's something that she would like to work with you on. So much fun. Yep, big love, absolutely. And before I get carried away, let's see if Brooke Henry is around to have a chat with us today. So Brooke is one of our speakers. Wonderful way of working. She is a mixed media artist, and I really love the way she combines working with paper and fabric and all things wonderful. Brooke, hello. So nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
How, it's been ages. Was it a year? I
Two
can't
years
remember anymore.
ago. 2 years
Oh my
ago.
goodness, my goodness. And you've been busy since then.
Very busy, yes.
Oh, well, it's so nice to reconnect with you again, and I'm thrilled that you're back as part of Making Zen. I love your work, and everybody who has participated also loves what you teach as well. It's such a wonderful combination of what would you say it, mixed media? Would you call it junk journaling or
I call
and
it art
textiles?
journaling, but yeah,
Art journaling?
I love it because I don't have to leave anything out. Like I like to combine it all, and so to be able to do it in an art journal format means that I don't have to leave the stitching out, I don't have to leave the paper or paint out. I can kind of combine it all.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess also in that sense, it also means that a lot of rules go out the window too, because you don't have to worry about having tidy stitches on the back of a piece of work or those kind
Exactly.
of things.
Although I will say the back of work is sometimes my favorite. I get laughed at a little bit sometimes, but I'm like, I love the organicness of it. Sometimes we try too hard, and so the organic is so good. But yeah, so 2 years ago, you were my first major collaboration that I was a part of. So it feels a little bit like a full circle moment,
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm so happy to be back.
Oh my goodness, that's so heartwarming to hear that. That's
Yeah.
just amazing. Oh, we've got Melody coming in and she's saying it's all fun and has lots of potential. It really does. And going back to what you're saying earlier about the back of work being more interesting in than the front, I agree with you. I really like how, I don't know, I feel sometimes the way I work, as hard as I try to be very loose and fluid,
Hmm.
there's something about the back of the work that because you're not focusing on and I don't know, it always, I think, is more interesting than the front of the work.
I think so too. I'm even taking to sometimes turning my work around and starting to stitch on.
Ooh.
It's a little scary, but in more of my experimental pieces, it's been really fun because you get more of that organic feeling that you want.
Do
But you
you,
still find your brain trying to make it all nice.
well, that's what I was about to ask. I was like, do you find that because you know that you're going to do it, you kind of start thinking
It
strategically about it, I
it does,
guess?
even though I don't try to, or I try not to. My brain instinctually is like, okay, but if you put it there, it's gonna cross over that, and it's like, no, 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 that's not what we're trying to do.
I know, we're always trying to trick ourselves, aren't we?
Yeah, it's finding ways to work around our own brain.
But it is fun though, and when you mention it, one of the things that I had a real aha moment, and that was I was working with another artist, and she had this fabulous way of, so you'd place what you were working on in front of her,
Mhm.
and she'd look at it, and then she'd rotate it, and she'd turn it upside down, and you started, because you were engaging with it in all these ways that you didn't really anticipate, you suddenly saw it from a whole lot of other angles, which really then mind-blowing opportunity and experience. It's like, oh, that looks so much more interesting upside down.
Yes. Well, I think we get so stuck into it of what we expect it to be. And I try to do that with my papers when I'm working, but I need to
Mm,
do it more with my stitching too, because I do think that we get into laying things out the same way over and over. And when we turn it upside down or flip it or whatever, it really makes it interesting and unexpected to our own
mm,
brains.
exactly. Yeah. It's even like I think Matisse encouraged people to draw their subjects upside down. I think
Mm,
it was Matisse. And so the idea is when you do that, or it's a drawing lesson based around a Matisse subject, I cannot remember which of it is,
mhm.
but because you turn it upside down, the brain doesn't see the figure sitting on a couch, for
Yep.
example. It just sees a whole lot of lines that you need to put back together
The
again. So you're better
lines and
at
shapes.
draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yep.
better drawing upside down than you are right way up.
Yeah. I've heard that about forging a signature. That you're supposed to turn it upside down, but you just, not that I've tried it, but that you're supposed to do that so that you don't see letters anymore. You just see lines.
How
Yeah,
interesting. So if I see someone signing their name upside down in front of me, I
that's
know
how
something's
you
up.
know. There's a bunch of detective sleuths out there now.
I know I was about to say, move over, Sherlock.
That's funny.
I know, that's awesome. But that's just thinking about the whole way that you create, and like it's very fluid and it's very instinctual, and you put all these bits and pieces together which look considered yet random.
Mhm.
And I really admire your way of working because I find it really challenging.
I don't disagree with you.
So but it takes quite a lot of, I don't know, maybe you could talk through some of your
Mhm.
processes on how you work and how you feel comfortable with things and reach it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Love to
for
hear
sure.
more. Please share. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest things is we look at others and think it's so easy for them. It comes so naturally. They're good at it. I'm not. And that's such a limiting belief that I catch
Mhm.
myself in all the time. And it's like, no, practice is where it's at. Because honestly, by nature, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I want things to be orderly and at right angles and all of this. So I'm constantly finding myself saying, let's loosen up, let's breathe, let's work through it. And I will say it's practice. Time and time again, we go. And even in the 2 years since, I first worked with you, my
Mm,
style has changed a lot. And
mm,
a lot of times they're minuscule changes that maybe other people don't notice as much. But the biggest thing I notice is my thinking as I create. I'm less hard on myself. I try to give myself a little bit more grace and knowing that it's okay if it's not like awesome every time. And that's the hard thing about social media is we post the best of our work. We post what we're
mm.
most proud of. And sometimes it's like I wish I could just have like a camera on for people to see the mistakes. And sometimes I leave them in my YouTube videos and I'm like, this did not work out. And that's okay. We move on, we move past it. So I think it's a lot of practice, honestly, and telling ourselves that it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be kind of messy and organic. And if you're one that likes a lot of order and structure to it, test yourself little bit by little bit. Leave the frayed edges out, leave the thread tails out, and kind of like ease your way into it, tiptoe into the shallow end.
Oh, that's good advice. So kind of just do things one slow step at
Yeah.
a time.
Well, because I
Yeah.
think a lot of times I'm an all or nothing type of person. And so I find it that if I don't complete it right away, the first time how I envisioned it in my head, it's like, I failed. And it's like, no, you didn't fail. You were brave enough to try. Like you don't need to you don't need to completely change everything overnight. It's like if you go to lose weight, you're not going to lose all 50 pounds at one time. It's little by little, and that's how our art can develop too. Just
Mm,
teensy bits at a time.
mm. Oh, that's such wise words, because I know a lot of us are so, we see something and we're like, I want to make that,
Mm,
and then you try it and you're like, oh.
mm,
Oh, it didn't quite turn out the
yeah.
way I was hoping.
Well, and I think the beauty too of little bit by little bit is instead of like totally replicating somebody else's style, if we do it little bit by little bit, we're infusing it as we go along with our own style. And so
Mm,
we can then adapt and mold. And I think that's why I think I see a lot of minuscule changes throughout my work is I start to develop and add things and take away as I go along. It's never a full 180 switch. And it's kind of just we're always learning and adding new things. So that's that's the most exciting part to me. I think I'm always learning and I feel like I can always learn something from somebody.
that's so true. Absolutely. And it's the whole thing about this is what I keep telling everybody who participates in the event, keep an open
Mm,
mind and do it all.
hmm
Because, and this is speaking from my own experience when I'm like, oh, because what happened was there was a gallery that Sundays were my days of going to the galleries. This is when I lived in
hmm
London. And so I had a Tate membership, and every Sunday I'd go to the Tate gallery or I'd go to see something. And one weekend I'm like, there's nothing interesting on at the Tate. And I'm like, you know what? Just go anyway. I think it was something like Soviet textiles, which at the time was like not very interesting. And it blew my mind. And I'm like, okay, that's the last time I'm ever going to shut anything down. Keep an open mind because that's where the interesting things happen, particularly
Absolutely.
where you're not expecting it to.
Well, it's so easy to look at a lesson and think, been there, done that, let's go on to something
Mm,
else. But there's
mm,
always a different way of looking at something. My
mm,
parents just took a trip to Italy, and I told her, I was so jealous. I was like, when you go, pay attention to textures and detail. She's an artist too.
mm,
And so she was paying special attention to these things. And they were on a photo trip with a guide and everything. My dad's a photographer. And they all kind of kept looking at her like, why are you taking these close up pictures when you can see the broad landscape of how beautiful the Dolomites are? And
mm.
she's like, look at the details in these rocks. And I was like, you just choose to look at things in a different angle, either come back or zoom in, or there's just so many different ways to look at things, which is fascinating to me.
Isn't it though? I love hearing that story. Because yeah, you can, and what I see is totally different to
Mm-hmm.
what you'll see and what you're attracted to, and the whole color palette, the
Mm,
way you put colors together might be totally different from someone else, and you might be like, "Oh, I'd never put those colors together," but you see it done, and it's like, "Wow, that's amazing!"
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a very limited color palette person. And so when other people put together palettes that are all different colors, I love them so much. And then they come to me and say, well, limited palette is harder. And I'm like, no, it's not. That's the easy part for
Mm.
me. The challenging is your way of doing it. So it's easy to get stuck in our own head and think, well, they're so good at that. I'm never going to be good at that. But
Mm.
we all have different strengths and
Mm.
things that come naturally to us. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess again that's why Making Zen is so much fun
Mm,
because you've got 20 different artists with 20 different strengths, 20 different ways of looking at things, and so you get to look through 20 different lenses and ways of working. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty special to be able to, be sitting at the art table with you, watching you create. And
I love it so much because I think we all, our backgrounds lead us to where we are now, and none of us have the exact same things that we've learned. And so we do all have such a different way of looking at things. Even it's under the same genre, it's still different.
Exactly, I know,
Yeah.
and I love it. And even when you've been working in a medium for a very long time, you're like, oh, I know it all. You don't. There's always something. There's a new technique or a new way of doing something, or I don't know. There's always something
Hmm.
new that you can learn. And I think that's where it gets really exciting too, because everybody has different ways of
Yeah.
doing things.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think when you start to think that you learned it all, start trying to use that supply or technique wrong. Like
Mhm.
try to purposely use it wrong, and then you're going to discover more fun things that you can do with it. Like I never thought to do it this way because I was trained to do it that way or whatever. I
Mm.
was sewing coming from a quilting background, I quarter inch seams, all of it was how you did it. And now it's like throwing caution to the wind. I had to kind of unlearn a lot of those things in
Yeah.
order to do it the way I wanted to do it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's such a good way of thinking about things, because we really do. I think, a lot of us traditionally learning as textile people, you have to have nice, neat backs, and you have to
Hmm.
little knots or no knots and all that kind of stuff. So to throw that all
Hmm.
to the wind, it's a bit like standing very close to the edge of a tall building.
Yes. Well, and like I started putting my knots on the front side instead of on the
Mm,
back, which is
mm,
not how you're trained to do it. And it's like, how can I get more texture? And that was just
mm,
one of the ways that I did it wrong in order
mm.
to get the result that I wanted.
Yeah.
And now it's become a staple part in how I create.
I love it. You were talking about how you're constantly, doing kind of like micro steps, I guess, in some
Mhm.
ways of making changes and all those kind of things. What would be one of your more recent micro steps or aha moments that you're now kind of including in your ways and being of
Yeah.
making?
Well, I've always loved combining paper and fabric,
Yes.
but I'm now trying as much as possible to bring paint into the mix as well.
Oh.
Whether that means stitch first and then add paint over top or vice versa. Like I love playing around with the order that you do things because you're going to get such different results.
Mm.
And before it was I would dye my own fabric or paint my own fabric and then bring in the stitching and then put it into a journal. I'm playing around with even the base substrate being paper and fabric and just playing around with that, and it's kind of an evolution. And this is the part for me that I don't often record as I'm going. I
Mm.
kind of take some personal experimentation. I might share a little bit because I can't help myself, and I'm not trying to be secretive about it, but I think as somebody that shares and teaches their work, you have to have time to develop new things as well.
Mm.
And so that's been one of my favorite experimentations lately is how can I blend even more of that mixed media in with the stitching, because I think
Mm.
I include stitching in everything that I do.
Mm.
I can't, I don't want to stay away from it. So,
So what would you say came first for you? Would you say it was the paper and then the fabric, or it was the fabric and then the paper, or it was a mixture?
probably textiles,
Yeah.
because I started to quilt when I was 5.
Ah.
So, from a very young age, and then crocheting and knitting, I taught myself how to do that in my teens. And then, but I've also always loved office supplies. School shopping was my favorite. But I would say probably textile art. It
Mm.
was um, first. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. So it was first the textiles, and then what kind of led you down the rabbit hole of working with paper, and how did you start to combine the two?
Um, well, I've dabbled in pretty much everything. Not everything, but I've dabbled in a lot. And
Hmm.
so I think it was, I mean, I had a crocheting business for a little while where I did custom animals.
Oh,
And I had a
wow.
long arm quilting business.
Oh my
And in the end,
goodness.
they all felt very niche to me. I'm such a broad artist where I get too bored, if I'm limited. So I think it came from the desire to stop leaving things out that I love doing.
Mm.
It was, how can I start bringing these together? And then I saw art journaling. Somebody made a handmade book, and I was like, oh, I love that. So, because I mean, I did scrapbooking too when that was popular. And so I think it was just like something clicked in my brain where it was like, I don't have to leave anything out. Let's do it all.
And just looking at the amazing background that you have behind you, I can see that there are lots of amazing things
Mm,
to play with.
it takes a village to organize this because that's the problem when you get a new fascination. I want to buy all the supplies, I want to find everything, and then you have to store it.
Yes, that's it exactly, but not out of sight.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yes, I have to have like open shelving and open containers, otherwise I forget
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to be able to see it, otherwise, yeah, might as
Hmm.
well. Mhm.
Yeah.
I love it. And we've got some melodies coming in saying you wanted to combine all
Yeah.
the great things. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's so exciting because I just love the way that you're combining it all, and you've got the paper and you've got the textiles. And I guess the reason why I'm asking is because I just find it all really
Mm-hmm.
fascinating, and I love knowing people's journeys of how they like their
Mm-hmm.
journeys of discovery, and how you reached upon doing what you're doing. So yeah, thank you very much
Yeah.
for sharing
Well,
that.
and
Uh,
it's very interesting because I think a lot of people that find me first come from paper, not textiles. And
so
so my biggest suggestion to them, if they're intimidated by fabric, is to treat it just like paper. And I would probably say the same thing if you're coming to from textiles. Treat the paper just like the fabric. And then it becomes easier to incorporate because I've been putting a lot of paper in my fabric covers now and trying to combine the two. So I think you just have to change the way you're looking at it if you want to infuse more of everything.
yeah, yeah, I completely agree. And we've got a good comment coming in from
Yeah.
Silver Girl saying, "I thought I was the only one who forgot." That
No,
page, I couldn't see it.
not
That
you.
no, not at all. That is the number one reason why my studio is as
Yep,
untidy as
yep,
it is. Well, one of the reasons.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I have to have clear containers and stuff if possible, because otherwise I just forget it.
No, no, it's
Yeah,
dangerous,
yeah,
very dangerous. Although I must admit, I was chatting with Darcy this morning, and she has this beautifully organized studio that I could see. And I thought, that might have to be something I do over the Christmas, New Year holidays. Just organize stuff,
yeah.
touch everything to remind me of what's out there or
My
in there,
problem
is
is
the
I
case
go
may
down
be.
rabbit holes. I
Mm.
find something and then I can't help myself. And I would love a beautifully organized studio. I would just need to hire somebody to do
I
it.
know, yeah, full-time
But then I
person,
don't
I
want
think.
them moving my stuff either. So,
I know, that's a
because then
good
I wouldn't be
point,
able to find
actually.
it.
Hmm. Kind of need Santa's little helpers
Yeah,
or something like that.
yeah.
Oh, when we were talking about the creative explorations that you
Hmm.
have, you said it's how important it is for you to set time aside
Hmm.
to create and just explore. Is that something that you try to do on a regular basis, or how do you fit that into your daily or
That,
weekly or
that's a
life
great
life work?
question. So my energy really runs in cycles, kind of, where I've kind of gotten where I know the busy business times, which means most of my time is computer work, which
Mm.
being a full-time artist, a lot of people think it's all, paint and stitching and all this, but unfortunately it's not. But fortunately, because I get to do it as a living. But I kind of just know in those times that any art that I do will be tried and true stuff. I'm
Mm.
going to come down, get a creative fix, and be able to leave feeling good. Not that I don't feel good when I experiment, but I think you know what I'm saying. It's stuff that I've done before. I can come down, I already have the stuff prepped and kind of work on it.
Mm.
Right now I'm kind of in a lull between like launching classes where I kind of blocked out 2 months of play.
Oh, wow.
Still doing a lot of computer work, but I'm making it. The winter gets hard for me, so I make it so I try to be downstairs by like 3 or 4 before it gets dark so I can trick my brain into not thinking I need to go to bed at 6 p.m. So then I try to play then in the evenings type thing
Mm,
where I don't really have an agenda when I come down. I mean, I am working on a little series right now, but it's experimentation as I
mm,
go. So
mm.
I would love to be somebody that can totally experiment every day or even every week, but I find that the most growth comes when I can set a larger chunk of time to
Mm,
kind of dedicate.
mm,
Doesn't always work like that. I mean, as I said, these 2 months I thought they were going to be so nothing going on, and I'm still at the computer all day and then coming down. So that's how it goes. But I think I just kind of try to flip a little bit in my brain to kind of fit however my energy levels are going.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is so important is to recognize energy levels, particularly
Hmm.
like we've just had daylight saving
Hmm.
in, so it gets
Hmm.
dark by 5. So kind of like you just got to think, okay, well,
Yeah.
bed isn't in it now, but maybe it could be.
Yes, yes, exactly. Well, and I'm in my basement, so I don't have any
Mm,
natural lighting. I have good
mm,
overhead lighting, but I
mm.
want to be up enjoying the sunshine as much as possible.
I
So
see
then
what
I
you
think
mean.
that's kind of
Yeah,
how that works for me too.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
important.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Brooke, I'd love to see what you're going to
Yes,
share as part of the
I-
Making Zen
I'm
retreat.
I'm very excited about it because it does combine a little bit of paper with the stitching, which I wanted to do because I wanted to be able to include it. So this is the project, and it's a little removable notebook cover. So any notebook that you have, this is just a store-bought one, can slip in and out of it,
Mm,
um, which is really great because then you can keep reusing it and keep your current one pretty or whatever. I'll probably just make more type thing, but it can be removed, which is the nice part. You could also take it and transform it and bind a journal right in there, but
mm,
it does have sleeves ready to go so
mm,
that you can put your journal in it. And I take you through how I put all the fabrics together in the fabric collage, I like to call it, and then all of the stitching and everything, and then through the construction of the notebook too, which is so fun. So
Oh,
I'm really excited about this one.
I know. I want to pat it. It just looks
Oh my goodness,
so
it's so texturized. Yes. I find myself doing that all the time.
I bet. Oh, how lovely.
Yes.
You kind of just want to cuddle it and all that kind of stuff. It's funny, isn't it, how textile things
I'm
are
the
just so touchy.
I'm the same way. I my people in my classes when we get on calls joke with me a little bit because I'm like, once I finish a journal, I carry it with me from room to room. I just want to
Mm.
have it with me.
I just kind of pat it and go,
Yeah. Yep.
"Ah."
Look at it in awe. Yeah.
Oh, well, why not? When they're beautiful objects, it's you don't want to just tuck
Yeah.
them away somewhere. You want to have them on display and take them from time to time.
Yes.
Not to mention if it's a book that's for like capturing ideas and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, then you want to
Yeah.
have that on hand too, so that you can go,
Absolutely. Yeah, I
yeah.
still need to use this one yet, but it's kind of like, well, is it too pretty to use? And it's like, no, you can always move it to a different notebook if you need to.
Mel, and I completely agree. I know that I'm the same. It's like, no, no, something's just so special. And you're like, no, use
Yeah.
them. Otherwise, you'll never use them.
Yeah, I have gotten better about that. Of trying to use, it's like you bought it for a reason or you made it for a reason. You need to use it.
Mhm. I know.
Yeah.
I'm still holding on to things and I'm waiting for the perfect moment. So I should just bite the
I
bullet and do
know.
it.
It's hard. It's
Isn't it
hard.
ridiculous?
Yeah.
God, so silly. And we've
I
got
think we're all like that.
yeah, no, despite what we say, but I think some maybe that could be a good thing to do next year.
Hmm.
Yeah, that could be
Yeah.
the challenge. Oh my goodness. Oh, what was I going to say?
I have
I don't
my
know.
I have my bonus here too.
Yes,
Do you
please.
want to
I would
show that off?
seriously love to see
Yes.
that.
So this is a new mini class that I have not even offered or promoted or shown anything yet. And these are little stitched art cards.
Mm,
So you can take them, you can frame them and display them on the wall, or they make the perfect, if you're sending to somebody, a perfect gift in the mail. It's a nice mini project where you can really do it in one sitting and feel good about it and get it done.
yes.
Um, so they're really fun. I like them.
Yeah.
They're a lot of simple techniques, but it's in how we layer and put things together that that make it fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
They're
excited about those.
beautiful.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
perfect time for the holidays, you know, kind
Um,
of as things are
mhm.
ramping up, you
Yep.
can kind of make a little, just sometimes it's nice to send a little thought in the mail, isn't
Hmm.
it? Rather than the whole kit and caboodle,
Yep.
just something pretty like that will bring a
Yeah.
smile to the receiver.
Yes. I think so too. And it's nice and easy and fast, but there's that homemade touch to it. So
Yes,
that's
yes,
yeah.
absolutely. Oh my goodness. Well, I know Melody is super excited to do your workshop, as is, I'm sure, a lot of other people, as am I.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to being in people's hands.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I do know that people who have the VIP pass are getting stuck into it now and having lots of fun too. So yeah, watch this space. So for people who would like to participate, it is on Wednesday, the 20th of November, just around the corner, which is amazing. And yeah, check out the VIP pass as well so that you can get your amazing bonus plus 19 other amazing bonuses from other artists. So, so much goodness. Brooke, I'd love to chat with you all night and hear everything that you've been up to, but I think I think you've probably got better things to do with your time.
Well, it's around that time. So I did come down. I thought, well,
Yeah.
after we talk, I'm going to start playing. So that's
Yes,
always
that's what I
fun.
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good time to play it. Well, oh, I have so much fun playing, and I'm seriously excited to see what's going to happen next and come out of your
Oh,
studio. It's
oh, thank
so
you.
exciting.
I can't wait to watch everyone's classes. So, yeah.
It is. It's going to be lots of fun. Well, so lovely to connect. Thank you so much for making the time
Yes.
to be available to chat
Thank
today and
you
to be
for
part
having
of Making
me.
Zen.
Yeah.
It's lovely. Oh, I love
Oh,
it. I love connecting with you
yeah.
and love your work. Totally in awe.
Thank you. Thank you. Well,
You're
I
welcome.
will chat to you later.
Yeah, sounds good.
Bye.
Much love.
Yes.
Bye bye.